Hey everybody, it's Suzanne. Today I'm making another one of just my natural, very easy soaps. This is good for the beginner if you're just new to making soap. Sometimes I forget in my other videos. Always have your gloves on. Apron is really good if you have one. And goggles so that the lye doesn't splash in your eyes. So before turning on the camera, I got everything all ready. You prepare ahead of time, get everything measured out. If you get a chance, like at the dollar store or whatever, these little cups, they're really good for measuring out things. And so then you have it all ready. And alright, so this is going to make a 5-pound loaf. That's basically what I do all the time. And that would be like 64 ounces is going to be the total weight of it. So in here I have my normal recipe, just castor oil, coconut oil. I do a 10% castor oil, 25% coconut oil, 55% tallow, and then cocoa butter is 5% and shea butter is 5%. So if you're, for the beginner again, if you're new, you can go to soapcalculator.online.com and so you can work out a recipe that you like. It'll take you a while, so just have patience. Okay, this is my favorite crock pot. It's not metal, it's ceramic, has the ceramic insert. Metal's no good. The only metal you should use when doing these soaps are stainless steel. No aluminum, definitely not. But this is nice because it's ceramic. So alright, I have my lye water ready and I'm going to add that. I always strain it. I usually always strain it 99% of the time. So there's these little particles that I don't know where they come from, but alright. Alright, so this would be a hot process again from my natural line. I'm not going to make videos of all my naturals. There's the Moroccan clay and lemon. There's a green tea. I might make that video. There's this one which is honey and oatmeal. Just a very basic, nice soap and easy for beginners. So that's what I hope that I can help you get started. The main thing I've found through the years is just don't be in a rush. Alright. And a little stick blend. for the beginner, I know if you've been making soap a while, you know what I'm talking about. For the beginner, we're looking for a trace. Trace is, can you trace the trailings here? And this is no, even though I see where they dropped, you'll see what I mean. So stick blending it to trace, and I'll show you what trace is. Okay, so this is almost a light trace, and I emphasize light. So I'm going to stick blend some more. Okay, so this is a light trace. I can see the droppings on the top of the batter. So it's a light trace. It's kind of pudding, like pudding right now. But you can see the trail. You see it's getting thicker. So I'll stop here. So this would be kind of like a light to medium trace. And I have a little thing of water there. When I stick blend, I put it into the water and turn it on, and it cleans the blades. Okay, so we're at a light trace. We want this to get the magic number of 200 degrees, and get yourself one of these little guns. This is 150, so we've got to go up a little bit. If you get what chance to buy one of these crock pots, like say at Goodwill or something, if it doesn't have a cover, no problem, because plastic wrap works great. Alright, I did a video yesterday, and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to give you the tip of the day. I said I would do that in one of the other videos about a year ago. I said, you know, I think I should do a tip of the day, just something I've learned along the way. And wouldn't you just know, yesterday I forgot. But it made me think of it today because I'm doing an oatmeal honey soap with clay and goat's milk in it. Now, all the things I'm going to put in it is really good, except for the goat's milk and honey. Those two ingredients make your soap brown, or turn it darker. Anyway, tanned brown. So, it made me think that yesterday I did not give the tip of the day, And today I'm going to maybe give you 2. So the tip is, when using milk, and it doesn't matter, any kind of milk. Milk proteins are really good for skin. Goat milk, the pH is most similar to human skin. So in the milk, the proteins that they have a lot of amino acids and stuff like that in the goat milk. So that's why most of the time you'll use goat milk. Now you can use coconut milk. I use the goat's milk from the goat when I buy it from a local farmer, but on days like today, or times like right now, I don't have any goat milk, and I'm going to stop by there and see if he's got some for me. But if, say, for instance, you're making another milk and you want to put coconut milk in there, do that. That's good. Heavy cream, I've made heavy cream. Whipping, the kind you use to make whipped cream. You can get things like this. If you don't have the real buttermilk, you can get the powder buttermilk. So, whatever you want to do, just remember that any of the milks will turn your soap a darker color. And I've seen online, on some of the groups online, girls get really upset because they started out with a nice white batter and they ended up with a brown soap. And it's the heat with the soap, with the heat with the milk, it makes brown. And the other thing is honey. Honey just colors your soap brown. So the trick to that is, it's the heat that does that. You gotta study chemistry, I guess, to get all this stuff down. But the thing to that is, this is going to get up to 200 degrees. But when I add the honey and the milk, it won't be 200 degrees. I'll let it cool a little bit. Since today I'm working with honey and milk, today I'm going to let this cool, and you'll see that later. And then I'll add my additives, which today is honey and milk. Here is the colloidal oatmeal and powdered goat's milk. Here is honey and clay. So I have them all set to go. These are Quaker Oats, you know, the famous brand. This is what I'm going to just drop on the top of the soap, just for the decoration of it all. And in all my recipes, I use powdered sugar. That's the confectionery sugar that you use for frosting. I always use 1 ounce of that. And like I said, it's all weighed out, and I'm going to be ready for it as soon as this gets up to temperature. I'll probably have to pause the video, but that's usually what I have to do. Alright, so you'll see later when I come back. I'm going to pause, and when I do start up again, it will be at the point where the corners are bubbling up and the whole thing is kind of rising. For the beginners, I know those that have been making soaps a while already know this, but for the beginners, stay right here. When you're making soaps like this, don't walk away. You could just open yourself up for a lot of problems if it gets away on you. It is going to rise, it is going to bubble up, and you could have a volcano eruption, and that's a mess to clean up. So whenever I'm doing this, I'll stay right here and put the answering machine on, and just don't do anything else. Go potty before I start and all this other stuff, but I'll just stay right here and I'll watch this. If you've watched my other videos, I'm constantly checking temperature. Temperature tells you a lot of things, so it's good. So the other tip that I can tell you is, when possible, use distilled water. A few times I've used, we have well water here, we live in the country, and a lot of times I've used just water from our tap. It doesn't have any chlorine in it, so I figured I don't have the problem that some people do that live in the city, and you have city water, and we have well, so I always figured, well, I don't really have that much, things to worry about. But I do, because we have a lot of minerals in our water, and sometimes when I'm making a soap, there's no reason for it other than I think it's the minerals in the water. It just comes out kind of funky at times, and I don't know really why, because I do the same thing all the time, over and over, and the only thing I can think about is the water. So I even was thinking maybe I should like boil the water beforehand and then just put it in jugs, and I have done that, and I don't know if it did any different or not, but I've been buying the distilled water, and I've been using that, and I kind of think maybe that helps us a little bit, but I'll let you to decide that wherever you are, wherever you live. If you start having problems, just maybe think about the water. It might not be that, but you never know. Okay, so those are the tips that I can think of, that things I've ran into along the way. I'm going to pause, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I am back, and you see how it's bubbling up? And it really didn't take that long, actually, like 15-20 minutes. I forgot to tell you that the crock pot was on high, and still on high, but I forgot to tell you that. Okay, so that's what will happen, and it's good. 178 is the temperature, so that's good. There are different methods of making hot process soaps. In the beginning, way back when I was first experimenting and learning, I ran across, and I don't think it was on YouTube, because I don't think there was a YouTube back then. Anyway, the girl said, just everything that I did. Put it in the crock pot, put the lid on, don't touch the lid, don't touch the batter. Another girl, or later on, and not at the same time, said put an X in, like with your spatula, like put an X in there so it can bubble up and everything. And those things just had me all kind of confused. And but I did what the instructions said to do. I think it was somewhere on the web, a web page of some sorts. And I did it and everything, and I made the soap, but it was just harder now that I look back. And what I do, you'll see it too, there's other girls, I haven't made a video yet, but I don't see where I could label it as a fluidity kind of a soap. There are girls that have videos to show you soap that has a lot of fluid going through it, and that's not exactly what I do, but then when you think about it, I guess I kind of do that, because with those methods of making soap, you're keeping the batter moving all the time, and that's very different to the way it was in the beginning. In the beginning, you don't touch the batter, You put your crock pot on high, then you put it on low, then I don't know where you put it, and I can't remember because it was quite a ways ago, but why am I telling you all that? It's because if you're new to making soap, you're going to come across lots of methods. Everybody's got their own little nook and the way that they make stuff, and it's all good. I mean, it'll give you a soap, but then you kind of get down to your own way of doing things. And if you do a search, you can find some videos, some YouTube videos on making a hot process fluidity kind of a soap. And that's not this, but it's sort of close because I'm always keeping this batter moving. I put the camera on pause, so you really didn't get the whole thing, but I'm gonna upload my video, my other video. It's a tea tree, it's a hot process tea tree tallow lard soap, and check that one out because that one I show a little bit more. It's a little bit longer, and I show you how I stir it so many different times. It's like I won't leave it alone. And I guess that's another tip for you. Oh my gosh, all these tips today. Woohoo! So I am in North Carolina, and festivals and craft shows started last month, and I'm all excited because I've signed up for a few of them this year that I'm excited to go, that I have never been. And then some of the ones I went to previously, I'll be going to those again too. So now with stirring this, keeping the batter moving all the time, it's looking like applesauce, and it's good. All's good. I was laughing. One of the soaps that I made, I was stirring it and whipping it and whatever, but when I went to use it, it floats. I said, oh my gosh. Didn't intend to, but it was cool because it's like that other famous one that we know that floats, and that's what happens when you incorporate a lot of air into your batter by this. And if you do it enough, you'll put a lot of air in there and it will float, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you can hear my birds in the background. I have a couple. I have a Gulfin cockatoo and a parrot, and so he's yelling for Ryan. What? And he answers himself too. All right, so I love making soap. I would make soap 7 days a week. But there are other things to do. So yesterday I made sugar scrubs, and I don't know if I'll get to it later on today, but probably tomorrow I'll make some bath fizzies. So, alright, what can I tell you? Using things like salt seizes up your batter, makes your batter hard. So if you're wanting to add that, you'll have to play with that. This is not a salt. I haven't added any kind of salt brine, or sometimes I'll do a Himalayan sea salt brine, and I'll make it a sea salt soap. And next I am making a green tea. That's green tea powder. So I'm going to make a green tea soap, and that will be after this one here. And check out my video I have up on making your own homemade natural deodorant. That's really awesome stuff. You'll just follow, the directions on it. You'll have yourself a really nice deodorant. I have not bought deodorant in a long time. I had to use all my boo-boos. Some of them were tough, they were too hard, other ones were too soft, other ones cracked. Some of them were too dark. And needless to say, finally I did get it down, and I give you the recipe and everything, how to do it. And that's a good video to watch. And if you like, if I've helped you at all and you like this, please give me the like and comment. And okay, so I'm just waiting for this to get up there, and I've put all my additives that I talked about earlier. I put them all in this bowl, and I'll put some soap in there. But you see how this is bubbling up, and you can see the oils separating and laying on top. So, but that's good. That's what you want it to do. I'm going to let it bubble up just a little bit more. And from the applesauce stage, what we're looking for next is to go to mashed potatoes stage, where it looks like mashed potatoes. Alright, so it's at 200, actually 210, so in the other video you'll see me how I test it. I test to see if the lye has, I show you actually how to test to see if the lye is neutral yet. And if you notice in this video, I have not done it once. I usually don't. The thing of phenolphthalein that I do use, this here little thingy, this lasts me like a whole year, but I don't test it now until this part here. And this is where I shut the crock pot off. remember, it's been on high the whole time. And I'm getting these fluffy, mashed potato-y looking batter. And I'll test it. See if we need to cook it some more, or is it ready. So you put a little bit on a paper towel. Drop some phenolphthalein on, and it is still pink. So we're going to keep cooking it. Turn crock pot back on. And this is actually, there's still quite a bit. The lye has not neutralized too much at all. And I'll add my powdered sugar. This is just a really, really nice soap. Just a great soap. And what I mixed with my powder things like the goat milk, the clay, the oatmeal, I used sweet almond oil today to mix that, and then there's the honey is in there. So that's what I did earlier. See how fast that changes? It was really a lot darker before, and now it's not quite so dark. It does change fast. I mean, it cooks down really fast. you wonder how they ever did it in the olden days? They didn't have the infrared guns. They didn't have phenolphthalein. How did they do it? They did it outside. Okay, I've tested it again, and it's just slightly pink, or lightly pink. So I'm testing it again. Just slightly pink. Still. So the other ways people test their soap to see if the lye is neutral is they do the zap on the tongue thing. Well, I've been making soap for 9 years, a little over, and I have never ever done it like that, and I never will. So you can test however you want, however you feel comfortable. I'll just buy the phenolphthalein and do it that way. Alright, this should be it. Testing. Okay. That's good. Alright, so remember now I have honey in here, and I don't really want my, I don't care if the soap is like a tan, like a light beige, but I hope it doesn't get brown. That's what I don't want. So I'm gonna let this cool. Remember, it's the heat that makes everything do things. So this is 196, which it's come down from 210, which is good. So next I'm going to do the green tea one, and then after that I'm going to do a peppermint one. I probably will not do videos on them because it's so repetitious. It's the same thing except for at the part where I'm going to add the honey and all that. That'll change the next time around. I'll add the green tea powder. I'll mix that with probably sweet almond oil again. I'll mix that. And I won't use kaolin clay. I will use French clay because it's green. And let's see. That's about it. But I won't do a video on it. But it's the same thing over and over and over. And then lastly, later on this afternoon, I'll make a peppermint soap. But you see how nice and creamy and smooth this is? It's nice. Okay. So okay, I've scooped some out. That'll help cool it a little bit more. And I will put my additives, these, in there, in here, and my fragrance. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, it's down to 189. Looking good. Okay, now to that little bit that I scooped out, I added all my additives, all the things I told you about earlier, the milk, the clay, the honey, everything is in there, and it's going to be good. This will turn out good because it's not brown. Maybe the lighting in here is kind of weird, but it's going to be a nice color. A little bit beige, I don't mind, but I have made a cinnamon, and it is really nice. It's appropriate. I made a cinnamon orange soap, and that one should be brown. So, and it was. This is kind of hot to pick up, but it just hurts my fingers. Ouch. Hot, hot, hot. But nicely workable. This is a really, really nice recipe. Use it all the time. Let's get some air out of here. And this is my mixture with all my additives. It's starting to cool now, this batter, so you kind of got to work a little faster so it doesn't get hard on you. I'll just get the air out of there again. And top it off. Ouch. Boy, this thing is hot. And it being it's ceramic, it's also heavy. I think my birds are calling me. They want their treats. I didn't give them their fresh fruit. And I don't know if you can hear them or not in the camera, but it's like, where's my fruit? Alright, one more time. And that gets the air bubbles, gets the air out of it. And bank up the edges a little bit. Just a nice soap. So that's honey oatmeal, clay, and some rolled oats for the top. Just a little bit. And voila, that's it. So it's pretty nice actually. Smells really good. And that's it. You can do the same thing over and over and over and over. Just very repetitious recipe, and you can make a lot of different kinds of soap with this. And there you go. Have a great day. See you next time.